Well, welcome to the Eat Your Elephant podcast. This podcast is here to help you to set goals, take action, and enjoy life. I'm your host, Nick Maisie. I'm glad you're here. If you have big goals that you want to accomplish in your life, things that you want to achieve, adjustments that you want to make, improvements that you want to happen, benefits that you want to experience, then you might just be in the right place. I hope you are. Well, this is the Eat Your Elephant podcast, because you can eat an elephant one bite at a time. You can conquer your big goals one step at a time. It's all about developing that helpful mindset and then backing it up with necessary action. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're striving to conquer your goals. Well, welcome to episode 78 of the Eat Your Elephant podcast. Hope your summer's going well. Summer's one of those great times we can try to enjoy ourselves, have a little bit of fun, and maybe not focus on working on our goals the entire time. But don't lose sight of them. My summer here at the Maisie family household has been pretty great, pretty crazy, a lot of fun and a lot of craziness. But we finally got to that great point where the little ones can go play in the pool with their floaties and all that stuff and just really enjoy themselves. And it's not too much work for the wife and I, which is just a great point to be at. That was definitely one of our goals, and we're kind of achieved it. It's pretty cool. I just had to share that with you. Now, just a little bit of housekeeping. If you're listening to this podcast, you can obviously keep listening to it wherever you're listening to it. But just to let you know, it's now I'm now sharing it on YouTube. You can listen to it on the iHeartRadio with their podcast. You can listen to it on the Facebook page for the Eat Your Elephant podcast. I got it on LinkedIn. I share the links to listen to the episodes on Twitter. And I know there's probably a bunch of other places that I think Google Play and with their podcast. And as always, you can go to nickmaisie.com and just listen on the website. It's my goal to have this podcast available to you in the most convenient form and location for you. So hopefully I'm getting there. Now that that's taken care of, on to today's episode. Today, the title is talking about writing your goals in pen and your plan in pencil. Now, have you heard of that? One of the simplest acts you can do that will make you more likely to hit your goals and achieve what you want to achieve is simply by writing them down. Simply writing your goals down makes it so it's easier to achieve them. And you're more likely to do that. That's pretty simple, right? Just taking the time to write it down, can actually help you to have what you want. Well, it is pretty simple and relatively easy, ish. Take a little bit of time and some work to work through them. But, the payoff is huge. If it can make you more likely to achieve your goals just by writing them down, well, then I'm saying do it. Because writing your goals does help you to achieve them. And it does a few things. It does probably a lot more than just these three that I'm going to rattle off right now. But, these are three big areas that writing your goals down, can have benefits to. First of all, when you write your goals, it helps you to clarify your target. When you get really crystal clear on that target, it makes it easier to achieve. And writing your goals helps you to get clear on that. It helps you to develop a better understanding, by really thinking through the goal enough to be able to write it down. And sometimes in our minds, things seem clear. We can kind of think about things and it seems like we have an understanding of it. But when you write it down, it actually makes you think through it a little bit more. So writing your goals down can help you to clarify them. And also it can help you to visualize your goal. When you're writing things down and you're adding enough detail, then in your mind's eye, sometimes you can start to really see it. You can see what you're writing. With a little bit of imagination, a little bit of visualization, you can see what you're writing as you're writing out those details. And allowing it to become real to the point where you can see yourself achieving it. That has a lot of benefit, and later on, like following through with that visualization with the action that's needed to make it happen, that action can be a little bit easier and it can be a little bit more likely to happen because you've already seen it happening while you're visualizing your goal, while you're writing it. And one more quick benefit to writing your goals down is it can help you to stay focused. You stay focused because distractions happen. You're probably going to get distracted. I know I get distracted all the time, but on the way to your goal, that big goal that you want to achieve, you might get distracted. You might get a little off track, and that's okay. It happens. But when you have that goal written down, When you can go back to a concrete place of what you're working toward and you see that goal written down, they can help you to get back on track and get focused again. You might not, it might not prevent you from breaking your focus, but it can help you to get back on track when you need it. So just writing your goals down, quickly can help you to clarify where you're going. It can help you to visualize that goal and achieving it, and it can help you to stay focused along the way. Those are some big wins, real quick, on just writing your goals down. So, do you have your goals written down? Well, if you're writing your goals down, now, then you can try to make your goals SMART. And you probably have heard of SMART goals. So I'm not going to go into a ton of it right here. But SMART goals, what that SMART, S-M-A-R-T acronym means, it's for specific, measurable, action-focused, relevant, and time-bound. And let's go through each of those. So specific. You got to have a specific goal. You're not going to hit a vague goal. Or at least you might not know if you hit it or not because it's too vague. If your goal was that I want to be rich, okay, well, compared to what? A lot. If you're living in the United States right now, most likely you are rich compared to somebody else in the world. There's a lot of places where people have far, far less than us. So, in some aspects, we are beyond rich and wealthy and successful, just by where we're at already. Now, if you get specific, then it might be that you want to save a certain amount of money to be able to provide for X, Y, and Z. The more specific you get, then the easier it is actually to achieve it because you know exactly what you're working toward. So when you're writing your goals down, make sure that you're getting really specific. And very related to being specific is being measurable. That's the M. Your goals need to be measurable. It needs to be something that you can determine, not just by the specificity if you've achieved it, but it's a measurable result. A good indicator for this one is having some numbers attached to it. We can measure numbers. If your goal is to lose a specific number of pounds, then the pounds are measurable, or to exercise a certain number of times a week, or to save X number of dollars out of your paycheck each week. Whatever it is, when there's a number attached to it, that's a quick and easy way to make it measurable. Now the A is for action focused. And honestly, some people put a different A in there. But I like action focused because when we have goals, let's focus on the action that we're taking. If the goal is associated with the action, the result sometimes, we don't always have 100% control over the result that our actions get. But if we're taking the right steps, if we're doing what the best steps we possibly can do to achieve that result, then us ourselves, as we pursue that result, we're improving, we're gaining experience, developing knowledge and skills. We're bettering ourselves by the actions that we take. And sometimes the end result might be a little bit different. And I say that's okay. But if you have your goals, focus on the action that you're taking to achieve them. So if you want to exercise a certain amount of times a week, the goal is that exercise. The end result would be getting healthier and stronger, or losing weight, whatever it is, and improving your health by exercising. That's the benefit that you're going to get. But when the goal is the specific action that you're taking, and setting that up as your focus, then you can keep yourself on track with doing it. And so have your goals be focused on the action that you're actually taking. All right, and that R is relevant. It's got to be relevant. It's got to be relevant for where you're at right now, in your life station, in the season of life that you're at. It's got to be relevant for your skills and abilities, the progress that you've made so far. You don't want to set a goal that's so far out there that it's just so far away that you can't see yourself achieving it, and you have to do so many things before you even get there that it just seems distant in the future somewhere. The more relevant you make your goals to where you're at right now, the easier it is going to be for you to stay focused, to keep making progress and steps, to experience the benefits of your efforts, to see the progress that you're making, and begin to get closer and closer. Now, once you achieve that relevant goal, then you'll be in a new place with more skills, abilities, and further progress, and then you can set new goals relevant to that new place that you're at once you're there. But for the goals you're setting now, make sure they're relevant for where you're at right now. And then the last one, the T, it's time bound. When you set a time, a deadline, that future date that you want to achieve this by, it can add a little bit of a sense of urgency. If your goal is to save money, and it's a nice vague goal, and it's sometime in the future, well, then there's no sense of urgency to do it now. Your actions now, they count. Today counts. Today matters. What you do and the little steps you take throughout the day, they are so powerful. And then when you add a timestamp to when you want to achieve your goal, then it makes you focus on that. The fact is, what you do each day counts. And don't let the days slip away, because you're going to have that time, that time bound goal. You're going to say when you want to achieve that goal by, and you're going to know the things that you need to do each day to get there, because time does matter. Each and every little day is important. All right, now, excellent. So you're writing your goals down. You're getting clear on your goals. You're seeing them. You're staying focused because you're writing them down. And your goals are smart. They're specific. They're measurable. They're action focused. They're relevant. They're time bound. These are some good goals. These are some good things that you're doing. So while you're doing them, write your goals in pen. Yeah, write them in pen. See that ink as being permanent. Be committed to your goals. And that's the whole point. When you're writing your goals and you're writing them in pen, then you really have to say, in all these details, that this is really what I want. This is worth the effort for me to put forth to achieve it. I'm going to commit to my goals. See, when you've taken this time to really think through your goals and to think about all these details, then you can really be certain that this is what you want to achieve. Because it's worth it for you to achieve it, because it's something that's important to you. If your goals aren't important to you, then don't take all these steps to make them. In fact, trash them. Don't set them as goals if they're not important to you. But if they are important to you, if it's valuable and something that you want to achieve in your life, and you want to experience the benefits of making it real in your life, then write them down in the detail that we've just talked about, and write them in pen. That way you can commit to achieving them. Because when you commit to achieving your goals, when you say, you put your stake in the sand and you say, this is it. This is what I'm going for. I'm going to stand for these goals. I'm going to make them happen. When you really commit and you follow that commitment with the action, with the steps necessary to make it real, you can achieve great things. Great things. You are capable. And that's why we want all the detail that we can in writing our goals. That way we can see how powerful and how important they are to each one of us. And then commit with your ink of your pen, and you commit to your goals with the actions that follow it. Now, goals are wonderful, but if there's no plan, then how are you going to be able to achieve them? So how will you achieve your goals? Have you ever been there knowing that you needed to do some work toward a goal, but in that exact moment, you didn't know the next step? Maybe you actually got up early one morning to make some progress towards your goal before the day really started. But then you got distracted by a little bit of social media, maybe some email or other things. And then before you knew it, the day was going, and you really didn't take advantage of the time that you'd had. Or you actually found yourself kid-free, or otherwise free, for a few minutes and wanted to take advantage of that time and make some progress toward what you want. It sounds like I've been there. Oh, yeah, it happens. And that's why I know I need to have a plan. I need to have a plan. I need to know it, and I need to be able to check it. And I know I'm not nearly as effective as I can be when I don't at least have a simple plan to help keep me somewhat organized. But when I do have even a rough plan, even a really rough plan, I can use my time more wisely, and I can take productive steps toward my goal. And that's why I say, write a plan. But now here's the big difference between writing a plan and writing your goals. Write your plan in pencil. If you're anything like me, things don't always go exactly according to my plan. They don't. And that's okay. It's actually a wonderful thing of life. There's going to be unexpected things that come up. Life is just unique and precious, and we have to be in the moment. So we can have that plan. We can have that plan that we want to work toward, that plan that we're trying to make happen like the plan, but be willing to adapt in the moment when things happen that are different. We still can pursue and try to achieve our goals regardless of the plan not working out just perfect without any changes. Of course, you still pursue your goals. You have that plan, that ideal of path to get there, but then you adjust it as needed. A plan is a wonderful thing to help you to get started. It's to know what that next good step could be. And it's a guide when you get off track so that you can get back on track and kind of jump back in, and know how to go forward. But write it in pencil, because along the way, you're going to learn things. You're going to maybe even develop new skills while you're working toward that goal. You're going to be improving yourself and learning new things and skills. And you want to take advantage of all that stuff as you continue to go forward towards your goal. If you learned a brand new skill that was going to help you out towards your goal, which I highly recommend doing, when you're learning new skills, then your beginning plan might not have all the things that you've learned and acquired along the way in it. So you're going to have to update that plan. Maybe some unexpected thing happens and you need to shift your plan a little bit and take a different route towards your goal. That's okay. That's why you write it in pencil. You can make the adjustments that are needed. If you wake up in the morning and you had a plan to do one activity to help get you closer to your goal, but all of a sudden something happened and you needed to adjust it, be willing to adjust it. You wake up in the morning, you're going to get some exercise outside, you're going to go for a nice run, and there's a terrible, nasty thunderstorm outside when you wake up. So you adjust your plan a little bit. You do some exercises inside. Simple things can happen, and you make simple adjustments. But you have your plan, so you know where to kind of get back on track if you need to. You know that next step if you need to. And you write it in pencil, and that way it's that mindset of, hey, I can adapt my plan as needed so I can continue to work toward my concrete goal that I'm going to achieve. The pen and the pen or the pencil, those things are just, they help solidify the mindset that we want to have to help us to achieve our goals and enjoy life. That pen is something that's permanent. I'm not talking about a erasable pen here or anything like that. I'm talking about a pen. It's permanent. We're going to commit to what we write in pen. That's why we sign documents in pen. It's pen. It's permanent. Your goals are permanent. You have that concrete mental picture in your mind that is the goal that you're going to achieve. You're going to make it real. And then pencil. Write that plan in pencil. It's that mindset of, hey, I can adapt this plan as needed. I can make adjustments. I'm fluid. When things come my way, I can adapt, I can adjust, I can go around it, I can learn the things I need to learn, I can make the changes and course corrections that I need to make so that way I can keep going toward my goal. A road bump or a detour might pop up. I'm just going to shift my path a little bit, and I'm going to keep going toward my goal. That's that mindset that I'm talking to develop by having it in pen or pencil. Now, let's be serious. If all you have is a pencil, you can still write your goals. If all you have is a pen, you can still write a plan. Do the best with what you got above all else. Make it happen. Figure out what you want, write it down, make a plan, take actions towards your goals today. Take full advantage of the time that you have in these days and in your life and make it what you want it to be. Well, thank you for listening to the Eat Your Elephant podcast. I hope you find some value in these episodes. As always, you can go to nickmazy.com, find more material. Use a little search box up top look for anything that you want related to goals or mindset. And check in there often. I'm still working on some more resources. I'm not going to quite share what they are yet, but if you want to stay up to date, follow the blog at nickmazy.com. All right. Thanks for listening. Take care, and I'll talk to you again soon.